Let us pause for a moment and consider the domestic cat. A dog stands guard over your home, a horse diligently hauls heavy loads, and a cow generously provides milk. But what, pray tell, is the cat's contribution? It scratches with abandon your most beloved sofa, pointedly ignores your every command, and with the punctuality of a Swiss watch, rouses you from slumber at 5 in the morning solely because its food bowl is perhaps only 3/4 empty. From a strictly utilitarian perspective, it is arguably the most seemingly useless companion that humankind has ever brought into the fold of domestication. And yet, despite this apparent lack of practical value, over 500 million of these tiny furry, and often tyrannical creatures currently reside within our homes, nestled amongst our lives. We as humans collectively expend billions of dollars upon them, readily forgive their every transgression, no matter how egregious, and coo and fawn over their every single movement, no matter how mundane. This, then, is the ultimate paradox, a puzzle that begs to be solved. How did the most self-centered and fiercely independent creature on this entire planet manage to achieve such staggering success and widespread adoration? How did an animal that in essence domesticated itself, manage to so masterfully manipulate the most dominant species, us, the supposed masters of our own destinies? To truly unravel this captivating mystery, we must delve deep beneath its deceptively soft fur, and examine the very essence of its being. Literally. We shall meticulously examine its body, a marvel of evolutionary engineering specifically designed for hunting. We will decode its intricate language, carefully crafted for the express purpose of communicating its desires and demands with us humans, and we will trace its incredible journey from the untamed wilderness right onto our very laps, a feat of social engineering that defies easy explanation. Prepare yourselves, for after this comprehensive exploration, you will undoubtedly look upon your own personal feline dictator with a newfound level of respect, perhaps even a touch of awe. To truly understand the enigmatic cat, we must first deconstruct it, piece by painstaking piece, examining each component with meticulous care. At first, cursory glance, it presents itself as a soft, supple, and seemingly delicate creature, but beneath that plush fur lies a true feat of biological engineering, meticulously honed by millennia upon millennia of relentless evolution and natural selection. Let us begin with the skeleton, the very foundation of its being. A cat's body possesses almost 40 more bones than that of a human. This is certainly no accident, no mere quirk of fate. The distinct lack of rigid collarbones, combined with the presence of extremely flexible ligaments between each of its vertebrae, allows it to perform truly incredible acrobatic feats that would be utterly impossible for us mere mortals. Squeezing effortlessly through impossibly tight spaces, contorting its body into unbelievable angles that defy the laws of physics, and most famously, always without fail, landing gracefully on its feet. This is not mere magic, nor is it the result of some supernatural intervention. It is pure, unadulterated physics in action. A remarkably flexible spine, coupled with the innate ability to rotate its body in mid-air, makes the cat a natural-born stunt artist, a creature capable of defying gravity itself. And what about its ears? They are certainly not merely decorative appendages, serving only to enhance its already considerable aesthetic appeal. They are, in fact, high-precision locators, sophisticated sensory instruments of unparalleled sensitivity. Imagine, if you will, each of your own ears being controlled by no fewer than 12 separate muscles. Cats possess the remarkable ability to rotate their ears a full 180 degrees, independently of each other, allowing them to pick up the faintest rustle of a potential rodent meal from dozens upon dozens of yards away. Their hearing extends far beyond our own limited capabilities. They hear in the ultrasonic range, up to 60 kHz, while the human limit pales in comparison at a mere 20 kHz. The world around us is filled with a symphony of sounds that cats can hear, sounds that we, in our auditory limitations, cannot even begin to imagine. The heart of this miniature predator beats at a furious pace, from 110 to 140 beats per minute, almost twice as fast as our own, decidedly more sluggish hearts. This rapid heartbeat is absolutely necessary for instant mobilization, allowing it to spring into action at a moment's notice. From a state of complete and utter rest, a cat can transition to an explosive burst of speed in a mere fraction of a second, making it a formidable hunter indeed. But perhaps its most truly amazing tool, its most remarkable sensory apparatus, is its whiskers, more properly known as vibrissae. They are not just ordinary hairs, like those that adorn the rest of its body. Each individual whisker is intricately wired directly to the nervous system and acts as a supersensitive sensor, providing the cat with a wealth of information about its surroundings. With them, a cat can accurately measure the width of a passage without even needing to see it, sense the slightest of air currents to navigate with ease in complete darkness, and even gather vital information about temperature and pressure. If its whiskers are pointing forward, it indicates that the cat is keenly interested in something, its curiosity piqued. If they are pressed back against its face, it signifies that it is frightened or preparing to defend itself, ready to unleash its formidable arsenal of claws and teeth. It is, in essence, a true onboard computer, a sophisticated sensory system that allows it to perceive the world in ways that we can only dream of. And finally, a fun and perhaps surprising fact: if you have ever wondered whether cats sweat, the answer is indeed yes. But they only do it through the pads on their paws, a rather unique and somewhat limited form of perspiration. So, if your beloved pet has left damp paw prints on the floor, it might be a little anxious, perhaps startled by a sudden noise, or it might simply be a little overheated. Every single element of its remarkable body, from the very tip of its tail to the pads of its paws, serves one singular purpose: to be as effective and efficient as possible, to ensure its survival and success in a world that is often harsh and unforgiving. Now that we have thoroughly covered the hardware, the physical aspects of its being, let us move on to the software communication, the way in which it interacts with the world around it. And here, we encounter a rather significant and perhaps somewhat surprising revelation. That signature meow that you hear every day, the sound that has become so synonymous with cats, is not, in fact, cat language, at least not in the traditional sense. More precisely, it is a language that cats have developed specifically and exclusively for communicating with us humans, a carefully crafted system of vocalizations designed to elicit the desired response from their bipedal companions. In the untamed expanses of the natural world, fully grown cats almost never communicate through meows with one another. This particular vocalization serves as a signal of infancy, a sound that tiny kittens employ to summon their mothers. However, following the domestication of their species, cats swiftly came to the realization that this plaintive cry produced remarkable results when directed at those large, somewhat clumsy, two-legged creatures we know as humans, and thus, they successfully maintained it within their repertoire even into adulthood. These felines possess the capacity to produce approximately 100 different sounds, a figure that surpasses that of dogs by a factor of 10, and the majority of this vocal diversity is deliberately aimed at enticing us to provide them with sustenance, offer them affectionate strokes, or grant them passage through a closed doorway. Furthermore, the more one engages in verbal communication with them, the more talkative they tend to become in response. Nevertheless, spoken words merely represent the most superficial aspect of their communication. The principal language of cats is expressed through their body language, and the primary instrument through which this language is conveyed is their tail. The tail serves as a veritable barometer of their emotional state. Should a cat approach you with its tail held high and erect, perhaps even exhibiting a slight quivering at the very tip, this constitutes the ultimate demonstration of trust and affection. They reserve this particular greeting solely for those whom they consider to be within their inner circle. It is worth noting that their wild counterparts do not engage in this behavior, typically maintaining their tails in a horizontal or lowered position. Conversely, a deliberate swishing of the tail from one side to the other, unlike the wagging of a dog's tail, does not signify happiness or contentment in any way. Instead, it serves as an indicator of internal conflict and indecision. For instance, a cat positioned on a windowsill, observing a bird outside, might exhibit this tail swishing. Two competing desires are engaged in a battle within its mind, the ingrained hunting instinct, urging it to attack, and the voice of common sense, reminding it that "but I'm inside, it's pointless." And of course, there is the renowned milking or kneading behavior performed with their paws. This reflex originates from their early kittenhood, when the kitten would stimulate the flow of milk from its mother in this manner. By perpetuating this habit into their adult lives, the cat is demonstrably conveying utter bliss, comfort, and trust. It is as if they are communicating, "Next to you, I feel small and safe once more." We have already expressed our admiration for the cat as both an engineering marvel and a master of communication. However, within the realm of these furry creatures, there exist genuine stars whose achievements elicit gasps of astonishment from us. A warm welcome to the cat's very own Guinness Book of World Records, where a plethora of amazing stories await. Let us commence with considerations of size. The average domestic cat typically weighs in at approximately 5 kilograms, which is equivalent to 11 pounds. Nevertheless, there exist true giants among them. The heaviest cat in the world, officially recognized for this distinction, was Himi, hailing from Australia. His weight reached an astonishing 21 kilograms, corresponding to 46 pounds, accompanied by a waistline measuring 84 centimeters, or 33 inches. One can scarcely imagine such a creature, akin to a small child entirely enveloped in fur. At the opposite extreme, we find Tinker Toy, a diminutive Himalayan cat who weighed a mere fraction over half a kilogram, amounting to 1.5 pounds, with a height at the withers of only 7 centimeters, or 2 8/10 inches. He essentially remained a kitten for the duration of his existence. Naturally, when discussing size, we cannot overlook their wild relatives. Many individuals regard the lion as the king of the beasts and the largest member of the cat family. However, this perception is, in fact, a myth. In reality, tigers are significantly larger than lions. These majestic predators possess the capacity to grow to lengths of up to 3 meters, almost 10 feet, excluding the tail, and can weigh in the vicinity of 300 kilograms, translating to 660 pounds. A solitary tiger is capable of consuming as much as 40 kilograms, or 88 pounds, of meat in a single sitting. This serves as a stark reminder that even our domestic purring companions are, in essence, miniature versions of perfect predators. The lifespan of cats can also prove to be surprisingly variable. On average, wild cats typically live for approximately 5 years, whereas domestic cats, benefiting from proper care and attention, can grace us with their presence for considerably longer durations. The record holder for longevity was a cat named Puss, originating from England, who passed away merely 2 days following her 36th birthday. To place this in perspective, 36 cat years are equivalent to 168 human years. And what of their fertility? Cats are veritable champions of rapid reproduction. A single cat can potentially produce up to 100 kittens over the course of her lifetime. Historical records document some truly extraordinary record holders. In Texas, during the 1950s, a cat named Dusty fathered in excess of 400 kittens throughout his extended life, with his final litters appearing when he had already surpassed the age of 18 years. Furthermore, the record for the number of surviving kittens in a single litter is held by Bluebell, from South Africa, who successfully gave birth to 14 healthy kittens. These intriguing details illuminate the astonishing diversity and captivating nature of the feline world. From the smallest of creatures to truly magnificent giants, from those blessed with remarkable longevity to incredibly prolific parents, each individual cat possesses a unique charm, yet together they comprise one of the most extraordinary families to grace our planet Earth. The journey of the cat to its current status as a beloved global companion has been a winding and dramatic one, filled with unforeseen twists and turns. It is a narrative where initial reverence was tragically supplanted by persecution, and a serendipitous partnership gradually blossomed into one of the strongest interspecies bonds imaginable. The story commences approximately 10,000 years ago in the Middle East, a time when human societies were undergoing a profound transformation towards a settled lifestyle centered around agriculture. Our ancestors began to construct granaries to store their hard-earned harvests, and these structures, in turn, attracted hordes of rodents seeking an easy meal. It was at this pivotal moment that wild cats tentatively entered the scene. Initially, they were not particularly drawn to humans themselves, but rather to the readily available and abundant prey. People quickly recognized the immense value of this small, agile predator as the most effective guardian of their precious harvest. Thus began a mutually beneficial alliance, a symbiotic relationship where the cat obtained a reliable source of food, and the human received invaluable protection from the relentless onslaught of pests. Cats reached the zenith of their esteemed status in ancient Egypt, where they were not only respected but revered as sacred animals, intrinsically associated with the powerful goddess Batet. The act of killing a cat was considered an unspeakable crime, punishable by nothing less than death. However, this glorious era was eventually followed by a period of darkness and decline. In medieval Europe, attitudes towards cats underwent a drastic and unsettling transformation. They gradually became associated with the forces of evil, perceived as accomplices of the devil and witches, personifications of darkness and malevolence. This unfounded fear led to mass extermination campaigns, with countless cats being burned at the stake and brutally drowned. This widespread cruelty had devastating and far-reaching consequences. The disappearance of the natural enemy of rodents resulted in an uncontrolled surge in rat populations, which in turn were carriers of fleas, the primary distributors of the dreaded bubonic plague. Many historians now believe that the systematic extermination of cats was a significant contributing factor that exacerbated the catastrophic Black Death epidemic, which tragically claimed the lives of approximately one-third of Europe's entire population. Only with the passage of time did pragmatism and reason begin to prevail over the pervasive grip of superstition. People gradually began to remember and appreciate the cat's unsurpassed hunting talents and their invaluable contribution to pest control. For example, in England, cats began to be officially enlisted to protect state granaries and crucial food warehouses. It is estimated that a single cat, through its diligent hunting of mice, can save up to 10 tons of grain in a single year. They still hold this important position to this day, even receiving an official allowance in recognition of their services. Today, cats are firmly and affectionately established in our homes and deeply entrenched in our hearts. And, as compelling research consistently demonstrates, this affection is entirely justified. Statistics confirm that cat owners are demonstrably less likely to suffer from debilitating heart attacks and, on average, tend to live longer, healthier lives than those who do not have a feline companion. Perhaps their calming presence and the soothing rhythm of their measured purring genuinely possess a therapeutic effect, promoting relaxation and well-being. So, having navigated a tumultuous journey from revered deity to ostracized outcast and then back to valuable worker, the cat has made its most significant career leap of all, evolving into a professional companion, offering unwavering love and support. When it comes to understanding cats, logic and scientific explanation often seem to give way to whispers and mysteries, to ancient folklore and enigmatic beliefs. For centuries, these captivating animals have been attributed with supernatural abilities, shrouded in an aura of the unexplained. Let us attempt to separate the realm of folklore from the realm of verifiable facts and delve into the underlying reasons behind these enduring and enigmatic beliefs. One of the most commonly held beliefs is that cats possess the remarkable ability to heal. Numerous owners swear that their beloved pet unerringly identifies their sore spot, instinctively lying down on an aching joint or tender stomach, and miraculously, the pain begins to subside. While science remains somewhat skeptical of this anecdotal evidence, it does offer several rational explanations. Firstly, a cat's average body temperature typically ranges from approximately 38 to 39 degrees Celsius, equivalent to 100 to 102 degrees Fahrenheit. In essence, the cat functions like a living, purring heating pad, providing gentle warmth that can relax tense muscles and effectively relieve painful spasms. Secondly, the act of purring itself is believed to have therapeutic properties. Studies have shown that purring occurs at frequencies ranging from approximately 25 to 150 Hz. Vibrations within this specific range are known to promote the healing of bones and tissues. Perhaps the cat is primarily healing itself through this process, but we, as their cherished companions, also fall under the beneficial influence of this remarkable phenomenon. There exists yet another captivating legend surrounding these feline companions, a tale woven around their perceived ability to foresee impending trouble. Throughout the world, stories abound, narrating instances of cats displaying noticeable anxiety in the moments leading up to significant events such as earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, or even, tragically, bombings. However, it is important to note that there is likely no element of parapsychology involved in these instances. The more probable explanation lies in the phenomenally developed senses that cats possess. They are capable of picking up on the slightest vibrations within the Earth's crust, subtle changes in atmospheric pressure, or even the presence of static electricity, all of which can precede such cataclysmic events. What might appear to us as a mystical premonition is, in reality, simply data received and processed by their incredibly sensitive radars, their extraordinary sensory apparatus. Of course, there is also an entire intricate layer of superstitions that are often quite difficult to verify with any degree of certainty. For example, the belief that a cat hissing at a guest is somehow sensing their ill intentions, while a purring cat is sensing good intentions. In all likelihood, the animal is simply reacting to the person's body language, their unique scent, and the subtle nuances of their tone of voice, all of which we, as humans, may not even be consciously aware of. Similarly, the widespread belief that sheltering a homeless kitten brings good luck likely has a simple humanistic basis, rooted in the inherent goodness and compassion within us. And yet, even with a full understanding of all the rational and logical explanations, it remains remarkably difficult to completely shake the persistent feeling that cats see and feel something more than we, as humans, are capable of perceiving. They seem to exist on the border between our world and their own, remaining perpetually mysterious and ultimately incomprehensible. And perhaps it is precisely this inherent ambiguity, this enigmatic quality, that makes them so uniquely attractive to us. And so, our journey, our exploration into the world of cats, is drawing to a close. We began with a seemingly simple image of a typical house pet, and we have arrived at a comprehensive portrait of one of the most complex and undeniably successful creatures on this entire planet. Now, the next time you look at your own cat, perhaps lazily stretching out upon the rug in a sunbeam, you will undoubtedly see something more than just a furry companion. You will see a direct descendant of ancient predators, creatures of immense power and skill, whose primal instincts still slumber just beneath that soft, fluffy fur. You will see a biomechanical wonder, a living marvel, equipped with sophisticated locators instead of mere ears, and boasting a highly advanced navigation system contained within its very whiskers. You will recognize in it a virtuoso psychologist, a master of understanding human behavior, who has cleverly developed a special language, a unique form of communication, specifically designed to manipulate your very best emotions. You will remember its incredible journey through the long arc of history, from being revered as a sacred deity in the grand temples of ancient Egypt to becoming a persecuted outcast in the often dark days of medieval Europe, and finally evolving into an indispensable companion, a cherished member of the family whose gentle purring has become almost universally synonymous with domestic warmth and comfort. The cat is, in essence, a living paradox, a walking contradiction. It is fiercely independent, yet it actively seeks out our affection and companionship. It can appear selfish at times, but it also selflessly gives us peace and tranquility. It has never become completely and utterly ours, always retaining a significant part of its wild, rebellious soul, its untamed spirit. And perhaps that is precisely the reason why we love it so deeply. Because it allows us, in some small way, to touch the profound mystery that lives right within our own home. So, the next time that tiny tyrant wakes you up before the crack of dawn, demanding breakfast at an ungodly hour, or casually knocks something valuable off the table, simply smile. You are not just dealing with an ordinary animal. You are sharing your life with a tangible piece of great history, a living link to the past. And having a cat at home, as the old saying goes, is always considered to be a good omen, a positive sign for the future.